Saturday. Good morning to you. Hey, y'all, it's Saturday. I hope your day is off to an awesome start. I'm Sharita Bagby with I Am Goddess Life, and I think one of the things we'll do today, kind of do our first thing, step into the goddess realm. Hey, hey, hey. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm super, super psyched to get started today. I had a really awesome night last night. I had a friend come over and she's been writing a book and she does a lot of spoken word, a lot of poetry. And so it was really amazing to get the creative juices flowing, just really hearing what's been on her mind, and I'm helping her to compile her book. So my brain has been like ready to go since 2 a.m. Go figure. So anyway, y'all, let's do the do. Let's social it up. Anytime you hear me say social, grab a glass of water, chug a lug, boop, hit like when you're done. Let's chug a lug. Just a couple of quick announcements this morning. As always, you're always welcome to schedule your free goddess reading. Check the description for the link. I'm not sure, depending on what you're on, it's going to be above or below. Also, you are more than welcome to do a free discovery call. It's one-on-one coaching session with me. It's free. That's also in the link. But the big thing that I wanted to let y'all know is that you are welcome to sign up for my 30-day Emerging Goddess coaching series. It is a free product. It's a free setup and access to my member portal. And so again, you'll find that link in the description. It is, I keep tweaking it, guys. So I'd like to say that it's complete, but you're perfect to go ahead and get started. It will be complete by the end of business. But that's again, because I'm a weirdo like that. I keep tweaking things and taking this down and putting that over there and moving this over here, but details. Have at it. You're ready to go. So let's dive in. Let's make it happen. Thank you, God. Thank you to our angels, our goddesses, our guides, our fairies for all the amazing guidance and direction you've been giving us. We ask that you continue to guide and direct our messages. Make them clear and concise so that everyone knows how to apply them directly to their lives. Help us to tap in to our own divinity so that we can hear what it is that you have for us. We ask that anyone who hears this message be blessed by it abundantly. And all these many wonderful things we ask in unconditional love. Amen. All right. So I think our message, we're just looking around to see where it's coming from. Sorry, my nose itches all of a sudden. But we are going to talk to our goddesses. And how many cards are we getting? We're going to get 3 cards. I feel like we're going to get 1 or 2 more. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to shuffle. Thank you, goddesses. What is the exact question? Thank you, goddesses. What is it? Okay. What I'm feeling the question is what is it that we are preparing for? So we know we've just gone through a shift. And I think if you've been with me on these readings, if we've been interacting outside of the readings, then I definitely know, we've moved through a shift. You've moved through a shift as well. And so really what I want to know, good morning, Eric. What I guess the question is for our goddesses now, or for our guides at this point really, is what is it that we're preparing for? We know where we've moved, where we've been. We know what we've been working on. We've been spending so much time in shedding light on our shadow selves and healing and integrating those broken aspects once they've been healed back into our full lives, into a completion. And so we know that we have shifted, right? That we are inside the kingdom gates, that we've moved from talking about it to being about it, to walk in the walk, right? We're inside the kingdom gates. We're the honored guests. We're the VIP. We are letting our light shine. So now at this point, I believe the question that I'm really getting for our guides is, what is it we're preparing for? Got it. What is the next step on our path? What do we need to know regarding the next step on this path, on this journey? Because again, remember all the messages that we've been told or we've been getting, have been telling us that we're cut the deck. That was clear. Okay, that we are leading to a very specific place. And that we were told again earlier this week that come autumn is the time when we reap great harvests, multiple harvests of abundance. So what are we preparing for? Good morning, Drea. What is it, goddesses? And I'm just going to cut the deck here. 1, wow. 2, wow. Holy cannoli. This is going to be awesome. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, I'm ready too. Me too. So the first card we have this morning, Drea says, been such a busy week. I have missed these. Well, Drea, I'm glad you're here this morning. You're right on point. Because guess what? Lakshmi is telling us that we have a bright future. Ah, you guys know how much I love this card. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. Stop worrying. Everything's going to be fine. And you know the typical things with this card in particular. Bright future. So number 1, we see her hands. We see that she's heart-centered, right? She's operating out of her heart. She's following her heart's desire. She's following her life purpose. We see her rise in consciousness and her rise in understanding, and we see the abundance being poured out from the elephants, from the water. Stop worrying. Everything is going to be fine. Remember, you are inside the kingdom gates. You are the honored guest. You are the VIP. You are letting your light shine. We're not just preparing to move forward into walking into our life purpose. We are in it. We have shifted to, well, I'm hoping to be, to I am. Stop worrying about it. And this is how you stop worrying about it. And you know that everything is going to be fine. Diana is telling us straight up, focused intention. Stop worrying about it. Focus your intention. Keep your unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions focused on your target, and it will make your mark. You will make your mark. Unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions. What I love about this in particular is, mind, body, and spirit. Keep your mind, body, and spirit. Keep your vibration focused on that which you want to create. And what's beautiful is we've just spent the last, two months prior to this really focusing in on the shadow, really focusing in on understanding where those feelings of lack, where those feelings of fear, insecurity, pain, trauma, drama, all of that, where they stem from. So now that we have shed light on them and we've actively worked on them, now we can begin to really hone in on that vibration, really hone in on that focused intention rather, because that intention is now coming out of a place of unconditional love. It's coming out of a place of abundance. We've dropped the worry, right? Now we're focusing our unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions on the target. And that's all you need to focus on. Don't worry about the details. Focus on what is. Focus on what you have. Work with what you have. Control your thoughts. Control your feelings. Because here's the point, guys. My girl and I were talking about this last night. At a certain point, when you understand this, it therefore becomes a choice. It's a choice of whether I want to sit here and drown in misery or whether or not I want to get my butt up and push myself to raise my vibration, push myself to focus on what I need to do. And please believe, I am not preaching at you. I'm really preaching at me right now. And I love this card. What the words that just came were fortune favors the bold. Freya. Let me see if I can focus that just a little better. Just a skosh. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks and be daring. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks and be daring. Stop worrying. Everything's going to be fine. So when you're taking these risks and you're being daring, just make sure that they align with your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Make sure they align with your life purpose, with your heart's desire, with your highest good, with your divinity. Don't worry. We are getting so many messages that are telling us to freaking move. To freaking move. Now, now, now. Drea says, it really is sometimes harder for some of us, but once you realize what triggers those feelings and thoughts, you can begin to cleanse them from your mind. Abso-freaking-lutely. You are dead on with that. Now that we've spent that time in our shadow, understanding in our shadow self, understanding where this stuff comes from, what it is, and really, even if we don't always understand, we're in a better position to recognize or to ask ourselves, okay, where's this thought and this feeling coming from? Okay, I recognize that I at least recognize it's not out of abundance. Now I need to go trace it back and spend some time. And once I figure out what it is, then I can heal it. Like Drea, like you said, I can then begin to cleanse that feeling that I don't want to call it negative. Because again, we're being directed this week to move away from the duality of good or bad, right? So I don't want to go with positive or negative. But what I'm going to say is we're learning to recognize whether or not that feeling, that thought, that action aligns with our highest good, with our soul, with our soul's desire, with our heart's desire, our life purpose. If it's in alignment, don't worry about it. Go ahead and be bold. Unleash your adventurous side. Take risks. Be daring. And what I'm hearing in particular is keep your eyes open. Opportunity comes from all directions. Good morning, Javon. Happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. All right. I think we are getting one more card, guys. And just bear with me because I'm looking around and I think this is going to come from our Earth Magic deck. Shuffle, shuffle. Drea says, because we are taught as children to ignore the feelings of being mad or sad just to get over it rather than feel it, recognize it, and then let go. I try every day to teach my children that. You're absolutely right. We are not taught how to experience feelings, good or bad, and how to process them. We're taught to put them away. Just leave it at that. We're taught to put them away. When I was talking to my friend, and I've told you guys this a while back, you know, there was a time when I was kind of, hey, Juanice, when I was really going through doing some of my shadow work. And when I got into my meditative space, my power place, my sacred space, and my divinity was revealing some things to me. And what I realized was a lot of fear and insecurity stemmed out of some playground shit from like second grade that I was never taught how to deal with or to recognize, right? So yeah, Drea, I completely agree with you. Hi, Joanna. Good morning to you. You're right. There's many times where we experience all these emotions as kids, but we're not necessarily taught how to process them. And the fact of the matter is, you know, this is real talk. We weren't taught it because a lot of our parents weren't taught it either. Especially the men folk. You know, I was working with a guy several months ago. Got it. Ooh, awesome card. I was working with a guy several months ago, and we were talking about what makes you happy. What is your life's purpose? We're going to get a fairy card as well. And what's so wild is when he came back for next week's session, and I never thought of it like this. Okay, I guess we're getting both of those. He was like, you know, Sharita, this week's lesson was really hard for me. You're asking me to think about what makes me happy. And he was like, I wasn't taught that as a man, as a young man coming up. He was like, I was taught you take care of your, you know, you handle your business. You take care of your family. You go to work. You do what you got to do. So just an interesting food for thought. Joanna says, how was the full moon for you? Joanna, the full moon for me was freaking fabulous. Eclipse season, during eclipse season, I was good. right after that last eclipse, oh my God, I got knocked on my butt with just a lot of everything. And I got hit hard. And it wasn't, again, moving away from the duality of good or bad and just recognizing the reflection within, that when these things come up, that really it's a reflection for me to deal with. And I got a lot of freaking reflections. And then to put it on, then on top of that, it was also Mercury retrograde. So it was like, But what was cool was it did actually force me to slow down, to actually, I'm going to say to actually back up. And that was a good thing for me, because in backing up, I was like, okay, number one, you have an opportunity to back up, but now it's time to reevaluate that stuff. And I didn't understand, because right going into all of that, and I forgot that it was retrograde, all the messages I kept getting were sit down, chill, sit down. Now is not the time to move. And in my mind, I'm like, but I have deadlines and I need to do this, and this. So by the time that new moon or full moon came, it was the complete release, the break. Retrograde was over. It was, and not only could I get back to self, but I could get back to that renewed in that basic sense, to kind of forget all the fluff, because the fluff wasn't what was important. That basic need. I had to get back to the root cause of why I started doing this in the beginning. So the new moon, the full moon, was amazing for me. How was it for you? Eli, hey, welcome. Haven't seen you in a little while. Good to have you. Joanna says, but just last night we got so much closer. Said I went through some hard emotions with your best friend or boyfriend. I understand. I totally understand. It was a wild ride. But I'm so grateful for it. Even as at the time it felt a little tumultuous and leading up to it. But on the flip side of the coin, now that I'm on the other side of it, I'm actually very grateful for it, because it really did force me to reevaluate. And what I realized about myself is I'm doing what I want to be doing, but I got caught up in a lot of the how and a lot of the extra. So this for me was about bringing it back to basics. And once that full moon hit, it was a release of all the extra. And it was a release of even some of those hidden feelings of lack and fear that I didn't realize were still dwelling in there, because they kept coming up during retrograde and during eclipse season. So it was awesome for me. Long story short. So guys, let's go ahead and finish this reading, because I don't want to hold ya all day. So from our Earth Magic deck, and I love this. Are you staying? Okay, there we go. And something is telling me we're just gonna move that card, that stone a little closer. Desert. Vision Quest. Now guys, we got this card like maybe 2 weeks ago. Vision Quest. In this arid climate zone that we call desert, images shift and change throughout the day, yet always maintain a sharp and defined presence. Those hardy species of flora and fauna that have found a home in the desert have adapted over eons to the relative harshness that is a strong characteristics of these lands. Throughout history, we've passed down many stories of people wandering the desert. Often they're about religious figures and ascended masters who had journeyed there and returned to their people with remarkable visions. The desert is an ideal place to seek a vision, or more accurately, to allow a vision to come to you. The quiet and peace of such an environment is conducive to the solitude required to have this type of profound experience. Spending time in this region without the usual, accoutrements of the civilized world can present survival challenges, or at least seem to. And this could rightfully be called a spirit quest, where through the steadiness in the seemingly bleak environment, it becomes possible to receive direct guidance from spirit internally and in the world around you. A vision quest is a process whereby you spend a few days in the wilderness alone. Typically, you carry only water and some sacred items with you, and you spend most of the time praying or meditating. Many who have completed a vision quest assert that it is a powerful and even life-changing experience and report vivid and profound revelations. It is said that the desert does not lie. So partaking in this can help you to discover your truth about your purpose, or at least give you some clues. It's time for you to go on a vision quest. Designate a place in nature in which to dwell, whether for a couple of hours or a few days. Spend the majority of your time while there praying and meditating. It's best to be in a location where you can truly find solitude, even if it's in a quiet corner of a park for an afternoon. Wherever you go, take your question, concern, or challenge with you into prayer or meditation. Allow it to float around you in your consciousness and watch what shows up. This is one of the more powerful cards. By drawing it out, whatever other messages you may have received are amplified, therefore, or threefold. Good morning, Miranda. I hope you are hunkered down. So, yes, this is a really powerful card, guys. And what I love about it in particular is, again, by pulling this card, whatever other messages you've received today are amplified. So, what I love is, I know in particular, I don't know who, and I don't know if it's anybody on this call or if it's someone later, but someone who's going to see this right now is not freaking out, but you're really worried about the how. You're trying to stay focused. You want to be bold in your intention, but you're really worried about the how and the what if. And really for you, you're being guided and directed to go into a quiet place, to go into your designated place in nature and dwell, to meditate, to pray, to allow the message to come to you. And really, allow the message to come through you. Because the fact is, y'all, you already have the answer. I promise you that. You already have the answer. All right. I love this. I love this. I love this. I love this. Okay. So the next card that we got from our fairies. Winter. The answers to your prayers and affirmations are fully realized in the winter months. So, again, here's the thing to remember. What happens in the autumn, in the fall? We're going through cycles. In the autumn, we begin to reap the harvests, right? The great harvests of abundance. The multiple harvests of abundance. We begin to reap them. But guess what? I love this in particular. Come winter, it becomes full circle. The cycle begins to complete. The answers to your prayers and affirmations are fully realized in the winter months. Again, because we're not separate from this earth. The energy on this earth, who we are, our bodies. We move in cycles. Nature always wins. Nature always wins. And really, the fact that we can look around our country, around North America, and realize that 3 named storms and a freaking earthquake. Nature wins. So when we get in alignment with our nature, with our natural self, mind, body, and spirit, we begin to get in alignment with the rhythm and the flow of the earth. Eli says, can this important message arrive without meditation? So, Eli, I would say, an important message can arrive. Let me rephrase that. Important messages arrive to us at every moment of every day. The reason why we go into meditation and prayer, there's a couple of reasons. One of the main reasons is because a lot of times we're not focused. We're living our daily lives. We're running from here. We're sitting in traffic. We're missing the messages. So going into that meditation and prayer time is really a time for us to calm down, calm our minds down, release the extra, right? To let go of all that extra chatter in the back of our minds, the distraction of our phones, of TV, of other people, to actually calm down enough to hear the message, okay? So that's the one thing. So I will say, in general, yeah, people can get important messages without meditation, but it's not as easy for everyone to do so, because not everyone is in tune at all times to receive and to even recognize those messages. Now, the other reason why we go into meditation or into prayer is because we want to focus that vibration that we're putting out. And that is an opportunity to really hone in and to set that vibration and to put it out into the universe. All right. Hold on. There's something else that's coming from that message to write without meditation. What else do you have, God? So I think the two things to take from that in particular, Eli, with the meditation is if a person is completely in tune and they're recognizing the physical signs around them in their physical world or even in their spiritual world, then no, meditation isn't necessary. But for majority of us, majority of the people hearing this, that's not necessarily the case at all times. Sorry guys, I'm not sure why this looks so wonky. There we go, a little better. So I would say it is important to get into our quiet and into our meditative space. Again, primarily to focus our intentions. So many times we get mixed manifestations, quote unquote. We want one thing, but we're getting something else. Sometimes we're actually getting what we want, but usually we're not. And it's hard to, because we're not focused. We've got so much distraction going on, and then we start operating out of fear and lack. So I would just say the answer is yes. You don't need meditation, but for most of us, it's a means to an end. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. Walk away. Leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. Walk away. Leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. I mean, I think that's really freaking blunt and straightforward. And really what I'm hearing is walk away from that old mindset. Walk away from that old way of being. Walk away from the worry. Walk away from the unintention. Walk away. And as you walk away and you give way to new conditions, as you walk away from the unhealthy situations, from the things that are not aligning with your highest good, with your focused intention, then you enjoy the new doors that open. So Eli, I want to come back to that meditation again, because I'm really glad you asked that. And the thing of it is a lot of times we think we know what it is that we want. And until we get into that meditative state, a lot of times people don't realize that their head and heart are warring. My head wants, the comforts of life oftentimes. And we want to help other people as well. But our heart's true desire may be something else. And oftentimes, they're not always in alignment. Hey, Christina. Good to see you this morning. They're not always in alignment. So that's one of the reasons why we go into that meditative space. Okay, I hope that makes sense, guys. My guides are telling me to leave that be. And really, Eli, what I'm getting is that you know the answer to that question for you. You already know the answer. And the words I just heard for you, Eli, is don't resist. Don't resist. And not to belabor the point, but that's pretty much the whole point of the vision quest, is to get into a place of clarity, to get into a place where you're away from, like I said, the distractions, your cell phone, the computer, people bugging you, where you can really get into nature and you can commune with nature. Because remember, the life force that is in nature is the life force that is within you. So when you can get into nature, you can get into even that meditative space. You can get into the rhythm of your natural self, your natural essence of who you're supposed to be, of your nature. Okay, I'm going to leave that at that. So really, guys, in essence today, we are really just being guided and directed to, again, stop worrying. Focus your intention, that unwavering thoughts, feelings, and actions. And again, now because we have done all of that shadow work and we continue to do it, we continue to elevate and move forward and to hone in more and more and more on our focused intention out of a place of unconditional love, out of a place of abundance and prosperity, right? And to help get some clarity on that, to go into that vision quest. Andrea, you were right. This is such a beautiful card with the winter. The answers to your prayers, your affirmations are fully realized in the winter months. So guys, the one thing that I love about this is sometimes we get so focused on a specific result that we forget to celebrate all the little scores or the little wins along the way. And so I really feel like our guides are reminding us that come fall, we're going to start to reap those harvests of great abundance, right? But things fully become realized. They come full circle in the winter. And here's the beautiful thing about that. No matter what that looks like, what comes after winter? Spring, more new beginnings. So let's just make sure we are doing the work that needs to be done as it needs to be done, so that we're staying in flow with the rhythm of this earth, with the rhythm that surrounds us, that is within us. A lot of times we struggle so much because we're out of rhythm. We're trying to man-made some natural shit, right? We're trying to genetically modify nature. Literally. Not just the fruits and the vegetables, but our lives and how we intertwine with nature. Don't be GMO. Be your natural self. And walk away from those things that don't align with your highest good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do not forget to schedule your free goddess reading, to schedule your one-on-one coaching call, and to check out the Emerging Goddess Challenge. So we are even going to, I'm adjusting the Goddess Body Basics, but y'all, we go into it mind, body, and spirit. Okie dokie. Mind, body, and spirit. Okie dokie. I love you lots. Grab your water. Let's chug a lug one more time. Social it up. Boop. Hit like when you're done. Oh, I'm so thirsty this morning. God bless you. Thank you for being here. Thank you to our guides, our angels, our fairies, our goddesses, our earth deck Gaia for the amazing guidance and direction. Help us to, again, to apply it to our lives today and to know exactly what that means for each of us individually. God bless you for being here. Thank you. Have an amazing day. And I will see you back here tomorrow. I'm not sure if we're going to do a 7-card reading. I feel like we're going to do something new. I don't know what that is yet, but we'll see. Love you. Have an awesome one. Take care. Bye.